I remember the strange Pishon Kvalhai. It's a guy says, but he's not. He's a very good boy. Straight, not normal, very normal, very smart. So the guy says to me, "Could I call you Zayda?" I said, "What has it got to do with the story?" He said, "Shlomo Levi, on the way to Buenos Aires, he stopped in Montevideo. He made a group of students to learn with him, and the only one left from this group on the way to Buenos Aires is me. So I call him my father, and now that you told the story, I want you to be my Zayda." So I stood up with him, and we started to dance, remember? All the women had makeup problems afterwards. Everybody was crying, and we were dancing, right? The Zayda and the Einikel. 2 years ago at the Kinnis HaShluchim, they asked me I should tell a Chassidic story, Shabbos night. And Shlomo Levi was there. So I said, "Shlomo Levi, you don't smile, you don't react. I'm going to tell the story, and I won't say any names. And when I finish, I'm going to say, and now Shlomo Levi, stand up." But I told this story more dramatic than I do it here. I'm a good actor. And I said, "Shlomo Levi, get up." And Shlomo Levi stood up. The whole crowd stood up, and they were clapping for a few minutes. Why did I remember this story? When I finished speaking, I didn't see him. I didn't know he was here. This young man, what's your name, Yosef?
Yosef.
Yosef comes over to me, he says, how did you start? I said, Shlomo Levi, he says to me. "Do you know Shlomo Levi?" I said, "Yeah, more or less, I know him." He says, "Because I'm his great-grandchild." I said, "Why?" "Because he made a certain ball, tshuva, maybe, blah, blah, blah." So I said to myself, "This is unbelievable. I heard this once." I get up, I turn around, my Einikel is here. I didn't see him. This guy sent me the posik that he's a great-grandchild, and the Einikel was standing here. So I had to tell you the story. That's what the Rebbe plays around with us. Okay.
We got on video, very great.
Okay, now we have to
Cancel.
like we did that time. Okay. The Zayda with the Einikel. It says in the holy books that a Chassidic farbrangen can do more than a Malach Michael. And you're Gabriel, you're already almost there, you're the neighbor. So Hashem should help Gabriel, then Chana Rezel, all good things they need, especially one thing. Okay?
Amen.
Thank you very
Amen.
much.
Amen.
It's unbelievable. I didn't know he was here.
And I came just for 3 days.
When he said at Pura Nickel, I said to myself, wow, somebody said this to me once.
Something
I
suspicious.
turn around, this guy's here.
He happened to walked in the moment I said that to you.
He walked in then.
Yes. He came
Wow.
from way.
I think we provoked us upstairs before with the stories.
Yeah.
No, that's not like
Yeah,
I'm saying.
The Shlomo Levi, together with my older son Yossi, we opened Cuba. Till today, there's Lubavitcher to go to Cuba from Montreal. I don't know if you know. But we opened it up. And for six times, Shlomo Levi and my son Yossi went to Havana. 6 times they went, and then we stopped, and the other people keep on going. But we opened it up, and till today, we're very good friends with the ambassador of Cuba. When we go to his house, he buys only kosher food. Now he went back to Cuba. But very interesting story. We did a lot of things there in Cuba through Shlomo Levi and Yossi. Okay, you should know. I don't know. Ask him to show you the pictures from Havana. Before the Rebbe goes to the Yod, he goes to the mikveh, we'll stand by the door, and we'll ask, well, the Rebbe will give us a bracha. So we were standing by the door, 12 o'clock, 12 something, 12:30 maybe, and the Rebbe comes out, and he sees us. So, he said, you're going tonight? I said, yes. He says, you're not going to be here by mincha. So I said, the plane is 8 o'clock. So he gave us a bracha, and that was it. So then I said to Roizen, we can't go away. We have to be here by mincha. He says, how? We're going to miss the plane. So we hired a taxi, we put our suitcases inside, and we put the taxi by the door of 77 there, and we prayed the whole day that Rebbe should come back earlier. He's come back those years, very late at night. The Rebbe came back a few minutes before 6. So we were standing upstairs in the small shul. The Rebbe came in, standing there near the door, and we were standing the furthest possible. Not everybody used to stay furthest possible from the Rebbe. The Rebbe saw us, he looks at me, he says, loud, "Es geschehen a Pancha mit dem plane." Pancha means something went wrong with the plane. I couldn't talk. I was so shocked. And the Rebbe said it loud. He said, a Pancha mit dem plane. I couldn't talk. Then I decided, and the Rebbe was looking at me, so I ran over. I said, no. I felt the Rebbe wanted we should be here by mincha. I told the Rebbe. I felt the Rebbe wanted we should be here by Mincha. So the Rebbe gave a very big smile, and that's the end of the story. And he gives a bracha on the way out. Why am I telling you the story? We have to train ourselves that everything you hear or you read from the Rebbe, that's it. That's it. That's it. You can't, that's it. That's the way it works. It's nothing special if you're careful with it. That's it. That's the way it works. There's no other way. Okay, I'll tell you a very nice story which happened this evening at Rabbi Marlowe's house. Your house, Rabbi Marlowe. I made a farbrangen with the women before I came here. So after the farbrangen, a woman comes over to me. She says, "I have to speak to you privately. This is to teach me, and you also, if you want to listen, what a Jewish neshama is. What's a Jewish neshama?" So this woman says to me quietly. She called me over. She says, "I want to ask you mechila. You should forgive me for something." I said, "Okay, but what did I do?" She says, "We had lunch together in Rabbi Marlowe's house in January, and you were talking, and you were having difficulty remembering a word in English, because I think in Portuguese after 50 years. So there was one word you couldn't think of. So I went and I told you right away. So it bothers me since then that I told you so fast. So I want you should forgive me." So I said, "I want to tell you 4 things. Number 1, that it didn't bother me, because if it would bother me, I would remember the story. I don't remember the story. Number 2, I forgive with all my heart. And number 3, now I understand why God picked the Jewish people. And number 4, when you go home, tell your husband he's a lucky man." Okay. Okay, seid mal alle gesund, gut Jonte.
Those of you who want to farbrangen weiter in Hollywood, you could follow him home.
From Vicious.
Stay with you. Stay. Blue.
How far is Hollywood? 3. Well, shish. How long's the Hollywood place? How far?
Yes.
The amount
We
of time it
meet.
takes to
You
go there
walk
and
there
back.
at the right moment. Komm zu.
Thank you very much for words of inspiration.
Sei gesund.
Where
Where did you meet Rabbi?
first time was in Crown Heights. I think it was 2 years ago. That's between 2 of us. But yeah, that was in Crown Heights.
You're the one that called him
Zayda, and yeah, exactly what he just said. It was really very special, very nice. He was very touched by me calling him Zayda, so he started to dance. He hugged me and. No, it wasn't summer. Maybe I don't remember. Maybe Kinsa Shlomo. Very nice. Right now in Crown Heights. I just came to visit a few days.
What's your connection to him?
We are friends. We met in Crown Heights a few years ago, and he's from Argentina originally. I'm from Uruguay.
So how is he the how are you the great grandson?
Well, Shlomo Levi, as a shliach in Argentina, he brought one person to be about the Teshuva, and that person came to Miami to live in Miami, and his brother became a Baal Teshuva, and his brother met me and invited me on a Shabbos meal, and I became a Baal Teshuva through him. So it's a generation.
Doesn't stop.
Doesn't stop.
You can't stop either.
Kedusha is forever. Shkoyach.